round, but just don't forget. You need to fill out a thing that just says, hey, I played for Tommy. It's not like stressful, but it needs to get filled out. Okay. Players and audience members, make sure that your phones are silenced and put away, computers put away, because you don't want any noises happening that are going to distract the players during the question or running around. So that's tablets, laptops, phones, silent mode. If you're a coach, you can have your phone or your laptop or whatever out. Just make sure it's on silent. Everybody else, try to keep it away as much as you possibly can. I appreciate that. Players, make sure that if you're wearing any kind of smartwatch or anything, you take it off and put it with your phone, just in a place you can't see it. Okay. Let's see. I have it here to remind everybody to not be watching other live streams of other rounds, wearing earbuds and watching the thing. Just don't do that, please. We really appreciate it. Okay. With that out of the way, let's do a buzzer check. So if we can start with all of the ones. Perfect. All the twos. Perfect. All the threes. Perfect. All the fours. And then everybody on team A. A3 is the big winner in this case. Okay. Players, remember to wait until you are recognized by number and letter to answer a toss-up. We really prefer to not have anybody answer out of turn. That would be sad for everyone. We don't want to disqualify anybody from any questions. We have a spotter and a scorekeeper, and multiple of you that are going to be watching for consultation on toss-ups. So make sure that you're not trying to communicate with your team members in any way during a toss-up question. That can be as big as, hey, this is your question, and as small as, hey, this is your question. Right? So just make sure that we eyes and prize in a toss-up question. Let's see. Audience, make sure that you're going to be quiet during the duration of the match, except after toss-ups 5, 10, 15, and 19. You can clap and cheer on your favorite teams and your favorite people. If I can quickly get an idea of who the coaches are in the room. Perfect. Nice. So that way I'll know who to look for. Just remember that all protests for a semifinal match must be lodged before question 20. So at the score check at 19 for anything that's come before it. Right, so toss-ups and bogey 1 through 19. All the challenges need to be put in before toss-up 20. And we will not be accepting any protests on those questions after the round is done. Who are the captains of the team? Captain, cool. So that's who I'll know who to look for. And with that, I'm going to read the Aurelia passage so you guys can get an idea of how I'm going to pronounce things. And then we'll see if you have any questions and we'll get done. Aurelia, cui urbs placebat, erat in Aegypto cum familia sua callida ingenti et equa. Tridecim ludos magnos Jovis in amphitheatro Alexandriae spectabat. Tandem, hic equus iratissimus, domum recorrere quibit. Aurelia Anglicae dixit. You can read about the year 312 AD in history books, but can you tell us what the abbreviation OP period, CIT period means? Were there any questions? Yes.
Yeah, how did you say placebat?
Placebat.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions about how to say things? Anything else? Everybody can see me okay? Perfect. In that case, we are going to go ahead and get started with the content warning. The study of the humanities often challenges us as we examine the full range of the human experience. This Certamen round contains mention of violence, particularly against animals and insects. As always, take care of yourselves and reach out to your chaperones and sponsors if you need or want to talk about the content. And now we'll get started. 2024 NJCL Certamen Novice Division Semifinal Round. Toss-up, one for any player. Give a synonym of the Latin verb defect.
C1. Oh.
I'm not going to accept that.
B3.
Discado.
I'm sorry, Discado is not correct. Team A, unfortunately, disqualified from the question. So the full question, give a synonym of the Latin verb defendo, which means protect or guard. Could be in a whole bunch of things in that. I think either of those answers did that's all right, because we can move right along to toss-up number 2 for any player. Which English noun, derived from a Latin verb that means to place, means something formed by the chemical union of 2 or more ingredients?
B3.
Deposit.
I'm sorry, that's not correct.
C3.
Compound.
Compound is correct.
Nice! Yeah.
Bonus number 1 for Team C. Which English noun, derived from the Latin verb ligo, to bind, means a metal made by combining 2 or more metallic elements?
Alloy. Yeah.
Alloy is correct.
Nice.
Which English noun, derived from the Latin verb hyreo, to cling, means the sticking together of particles of the same substance?
Yeah, you're right. The same substance.
Which English noun, derived from the Latin verb hyreo, to cling, means the sticking together of particles of the same substance?
Cohesion.
Cohesion is correct. So that's 20 points on toss-up 2 to Team C. Please do not open the visual until instructed to do so. You may now open the visual, which shows images of animals doing various human activities. You have 10 seconds to respond. Responde Latina. Quod animal in lapide sedens.
A3.
I'm sorry, that's not correct.
C3.
Urus.
I'm sorry, that's not correct.
B3.
Ursus.
Ursus is correct. The rest of the question, sedens piscem habere temptat. Bonus number 1 for Team B. Responde Latine. Quod animal in bibliotheca librum legit. Corniculus is correct. And bonus 2. Responde Latine. Ubi feles saltat. You're checking on in the room. It's not. I don't have that written down on the page. I had in the room today. We'll see what other people say, but for now, we're going to be 15, and we'll not get the extra 5. So that's 15 for now, maybe 20 eventually. On toss-up number 3, 16.
Hold up the visual.
Oh yeah, hold up the turn. Yeah. Those are the results.
Sorry,
Feel good? Ready? Perfect. Toss up 4 for any player. Ranging from a large ornamental courtyard to a narrow opening before the door.
A3,
I'm sorry, that's not correct.
B4,
Atrium.
I'm sorry, that's not correct. All right, we'll clear and we'll finish the question for team C. Ranging from a large ornamental courtyard to a narrow opening before the door. What is the Latin term?
C4.
Vestibulum.
Vestibulum is correct.
Nice.
For the part of the Roman house which separated the atrium from the street. Bonus number 1 for team C. What was the Latin term for the wax likenesses of ancestors which were displayed in the atrium?
I'm gonna defer to C4.
Imagines.
Imagines is correct. And bonus 2. What was architecturally distinctive about the style of atrium called testudinatum?
Can you repeat?
Yes. What was architecturally distinctive about the style of atrium called testudinatum?
Defer C4.
It had a flat roof.
Can you give me more information?
The roof around the impluvium was flat.
I am sorry, I'm not going to take that. What we were looking for was no impluvium. So, just like it's on roof.
Nice one. Still good.
That's 15 points on toss up 4 to team C. Toss up 5 for any player. Translate the following sentence from Latin to English. Ad patriam septem diebus perveniebus.
We will arrive to the country within 7 days.
That's correct. Bonus number 1 for team B. Translate the following sentence from Latin to English. Equus a cliente ex urbe dubitur.
Can you repeat?
Translate the following sentence from Latin to English. Equus a cliente ex urbe dubitur.
The horse was led away from the client out of the city.
I'm sorry, that's not correct. We're looking for present dubitur, so it is led by the client out of the state. That's alright. Bonus number 2. Translate the following sentence from Latin to English. I deficia Paulo altiora saxis sunt.
Can you repeat, please?
Translate the following sentence from Latin to English. I deficia Paulo altiora saxis sunt. Do you have it? I'm going to call adequate time. So we were looking for something like the buildings are a little bit taller than the rock. 10 points on toss up number 5 to team B, and after 5, let's hear the score.
Team A has yet to score. Team B has 25, and Team C has 35.
And we did get an answer on the answer Lichus, and we're not going to take it.
Can I challenge on the toss-up 1 the Nicola
For what?
for the defensive question?
Okay, and the answer, sorry, one more time was? we won't have an answer probably until next. Alright. Go ahead and get settled as quick as you can. Toss-up number 6 for any player. What Greek god, who had no father and married his mother?
C2.
Need an answer to?
Um,
I'm gonna call.
Aries.
I'm sorry, Aries is not correct.
Sorry.
A4.
Need an answer, please? I'm sorry, Hermes is not correct. We'll clear and finish for TV. What Greek god, who had no father and married his mother, was described by Hesiod as the primordial god of the sky?
B2.
I'm sorry, Zeus is not correct. And really for Uranus. So that's no points on toss-up number 6. Well, we move right along to toss-up number 7. For any player, the Pantheon, Aqua Virgo, Aqua Julia, and a bath complex were.
A2.
I'm sorry, that's not correct.
B2.
I'm sorry, that's not correct. We will clear and finish for 2C. The Pantheon, Aqua Virgo, Aqua Julia, and a bath complex were all originally attributed to what general of Augustus, who was chiefly responsible for defeating Cleopatra and Mark Antony at Actium in 31.
C1.
Agrippa?
Agrippa is correct.
Yes, man.
Rest of the question, 31 please. Bonus 1 for team C. To what god was the temple in the Forum of Augustus dedicated?
Do you have any clue?
Which one of those were temples?
Need an answer, please?
Jupiter?
I'm sorry, Jupiter's not correct. We're looking for Mars. And bonus 2. What other former commander at Actium was responsible for Rome's first permanent amphitheater?
Was Mark Antony, Cleopatra, Augustus, and Agrippa right? Do we have to guess? Mark Antony?
I'm sorry, Mark Antony's not correct. We were looking for Statilius Towers. So that's 10 points on toss-up number 7 to team C. Toss-up 8 for any player. Your future employer might ask you to provide them with a resume.
B4.
CV.
Can you give me more information?
Meaning, like works.
I'm sorry, that is not correct.
No.
Clear and repeat or finish the remaining. Your future employer might ask you to provide them with a resume that contains a brief list of your past accomplishments.
C3.
CV meaning curriculum vitae.
That's correct.
Yes, nice
Of
one.
your past accomplishments, what Latin phrase, often abbreviated with the letters C period, V period, and means something similar to a resume? Bonus number 1 for team C. The Latin abbreviation ADLIB period is also now commonly used in English to mean something done without previous preparation. What Latin phrase is abbreviated ADLIB period?
I'm just going to defer to C4.
Ad libitum.
Ad libitum is correct. And bonus 2. If someone tells you to V period S period in a document, what are they telling you to do in English?
Can you repeat the question?
If someone tells you to V period S period in a document, what are they telling you to do in English?
Verify with the signature.
I'm sorry, that's not correct. It's to look above or see above.
Okay. Yeah, oh, that makes sense. Ooh.
So that's 15 points on toss-up number 8 to Team C. Toss-up 9 for any player. Translate only the verb form in the following command into Latin. Julia and Aurelia called...
A3.
I'm sorry, that's not correct.
C1.
Wakata.
Wakate is correct.
Yes!
Question 12 chosen into the house. Bonus number 1 to Team C. Translate only the verb form in the following command into Latin using duco. Marcus, lead the children out of the woods.
Duke. Duke.
Duke is correct. And bonus 2. Translate only the verb form in the following command into Latin using pharaoh. Children, bring the mushrooms you found inside.
Ferta. Ferta.
Ferta is correct. So that's 20 points on toss-up number 9 to Team C. Toss-up 10 for any player. According to Polybius, what Roman commander wept at the destruction of Carthage?
A3.
Scipio Aemilianus is correct, because it made him think that Rome could one day suffer the same fate, even though he was the one responsible for sacking the city in 146 BC. Bonus 1 for Ed. The pretext for Rome to go back to war with Carthage was due to their alleged conflict with what elder Numidian ruler, an ally of Rome since the end of the Second Punic War?
Jugurtha.
I'm sorry, Jugurtha is not correct. This is Massinissa. And bonus 2. In the same year that Carthage was destroyed, what Roman commander was responsible for the sack of Corinth?
Publius.
I'm sorry, Publius is not correct. This guy's name is Lucius Mummies. And before we get to our score check, we have gotten word that we're not going to accept the challenge on toss-up number 1. So with that in mind, let's hear our score.
Team A has 10 points. Team B has 25 points. And Team C has 8 points.
At the halfway point, I feel like it's usually a good time to take a deep breath. If there are any other intermediate players for semis here, please get headed out.
I got the score.
Yeah, how are we all doing? Is there anything I can do? Okay. Toss-up 11 for any player. Listen carefully to the following fable adapted from Aesop about a young cow, which I will read twice. Then responde latine to the questions that follow. Olin vacca juvenis caurum senem spectabat. Taurus res graves in agris portabat. Vacca ridens inquit. Vita tua est misera serve, quod semper laboras. Ego tamen sum libera, et possum sub arbore dormire et aquam ex lumine vivere, sed postridie homo quacquam capit, nec habet et consumsit, tunc taurus visit. And I'll repeat. Olim vacca juvenis taurum semen spectabat, taurus res graves in agris portabat, vacca ridens inquit, vita tua est misera serve, quod semper laboras, ego tamen sum libera, et possum sub arbore dormire, et aquam ex lumine vivere, sed postridie homo vacam capit, nec habet et consumsit, tunc taurus risit. And the question, qualis est vita?
C3.
Libera.
I'm sorry, that's not correct.
D2.
I'm sorry, that's not correct.
And A2.
Misera is correct. So I am not going to take Misera, unfortunately, because if you finish that and you get it correct, but I have to take your first answer. So we move on with the dummy for team A. The rest of the question was qualis est vita tauri in sententia vacae. Source number 1 for team A. Quid facere potest vaca, sed non taurus?
Repeat the question.
Quid facere potest vaca, sed non taurus?
It's going to outdoor.
I'm going to take that. And bonus 2. Cor tandem risit taurus. Cor tandem risit taurus. I am sorry, that's not correct. I could have taken something like homo necavit wakam. But yeah, the waka was unfortunately being killed. So that's 15 points on the toss-up 11 to team A. Toss-up 12 for any player. In the world of mythology, even music can be deadly. What instrument was created?
A3.
Lyre is correct. From a turtle at the hands of baby mermaids. Bonus 1 for team A. What music teacher of Heracles was killed with his own lyre?
I just heard a Linus.
Linus is correct. And bonus 2. How did Apollo kill the satyr Marsyas after defeating Marsyas in a music contest by playing his lyre upside down? A feat that Marsyas could not match with his flute.
He skinned him.
That's correct. So that's 20 points. On toss-up number 12 to team A. Toss-up 13 for any player. Translate into Latin. In the forum, the merchants are selling
C1.
In foro mercatores libros.
I'm sorry, that is not correct. Alright, wait here, and we'll finish the question for the remaining teams. Translate into Latin. In the forum, the merchants are selling many.
In foro mercatores vendunt multas res.
That is correct.
Oh!
While we're here, just make sure that we're not doing anything that might be consultation. So try not to react to computer bugs or anything. Unless you're sure. And I'll hear you. The rest of it was selling many things. Bonus number 1 for team B. Translate. 2 of the 4 merchants were selling wine.
Duo ex quatuor mercatoris vendebant. Oh yeah, duo ex quatuor mercatoribus vendebant. Okay. Final answer. Duo ex quatuor mercatoribus vendebant vino.
That's correct. And bonus 2. Translate. This wine is better than that wine.
Hoc vinum est melius quam illud vinum.
That's correct. So that's 20 points on toss-up 13 to Team B. Toss-up 14 for any player. Which of Zeus's sisters, who received the first offering at every sacrifice in the household,
B2.
Hestia.
Hestia is correct, and remained childless, was the firstborn of the Olympians? Bonus 1 for Team B. Which 2 Olympian gods did Hestia reject as potential suitors?
Zeus and Poseidon finalists.
I'm sorry, that's not correct. You're looking for Poseidon and Apollo. And bonus 2. When Poseidon and Apollo were hired to build the walls of Troy, they were aided by what mortal, who later became a judge in the underworld?
Iapis.
Iapis is correct. So that's 15 points on toss-up 14 to Team B. Toss-up 15 for any player. When recognized, perform or describe the following commands. Surge et ad caelum latra similis cani.
B3.
Arf.
That's correct. Bonus number 1 for Team B. Perform or describe the following commands. Ambulate circum mensam et mugite similis ovis.
Oh, never mind.
So walk around the table and move like cows.
Yeah, but what table?
Which table?
I mean, just like walking around. Okay, final answer. Final answer. Move.
You're walking around.
Yeah, that's correct. And just bonus 2. Perform or describe the following commands. Sedete in terra et facite sonos similes murres.
Wait, sit on the ground and make it. What's that mouse thing?
Like squeaks.
Squeak. I don't know.
Just squeaks.
Okay. Sit on the ground.
That's correct. So that's 40 points on toss-up number 15 for Team B. And after 15 toss-ups, let's hear our score.
Team A has 45, Team B has 80, and Team C has 80.
Take one more breath if you want.
Oh, we dropped this.
Yeah, where's my guy? If I did that all right.
And your pendants, you need to pencil. You want me to?
Everybody all right? Perfect. Toss-up 16 for any player. What king of Caledon so angered Artemis that Oeneus is correct that she unleashed a boar on his land and people? Bonus number 1 for Team B. Meleager killed his uncles when they attempted to claim the boar's hide for themselves, ultimately leading to his own death. Name them. I'm sorry, Zachus is not correct. You were looking for Toxeus and Texas. And bonus 2. What hunter accidentally killed Eurytion during the hunt, but then succeeded as king of Italy? I'm sorry, no, the Acre's not correct. You were looking for Novice. So that's 10 points. 1 toss up 16 to Team B. Toss up 17 for any player. Secundo, Fractair, Oplo, and Odd.
Accusative.
Accusative. Bonus 1 for Team C. Which of the following prepositions cannot govern the same case as the others? Hora, tennis, pro, kiss.
Pro.
I'm sorry, pro is not correct. We're looking for kiss. And bonus 2. Some ablative words like causa and gratia are used similarly to prepositions. When they are, what case usually accompanies them?
Genitive.
Genitive is correct. So that's 15 points. On toss up 17 to Team C. Toss up 18 for any player. Responde aut Anglicae aut Latine. Quibus literis abreviatur quae nomen teatus.
2.
T is correct. Bonus number 1 for Team B. Responde aut Anglicae aut Latine. Quibus literis abreviatur quae nomen natus.
CN.
CN is correct. And bonus 2. Responde aut Anglicae aut Latine. Quibus literis abreviatur quae nomen serius.
Right? That's what it is. No, it's an S. S is sextus.
SER.
SER.
SER, final answer.
SER is correct. So that's 20 points to Team B on toss-up 18. Toss-up 19 for any player. In Book 7 of Homer's Iliad, which Greek warrior stands first to accept Hector's challenge to single?
C2.
Patroclus.
I'm sorry, Patroclus is not correct.
B2.
Achilles.
I'm sorry, Achilles is not correct.
And A4.
I'm sorry, Protesilaus is not correct.
Oh my.
We were looking for Menelaus. So there's the question. To single combat, but has his certain death prevented by Agamemnon's intervention, who encourages his brother to make a wiser decision in trying to fight the mightiest warrior. So that's no points on toss-up number 19. And after 19, let's first see if we have any challenges from the crowd, from coaches specifically, on toss-ups 1 through 9.
So Team A has 45, Team B has 110, and Team C has 95.
Any challenge, please? In that case, we'll move on to toss-up number 20 for any player. Tigidius Perennis and the freedman Cleander served under what?
B2.
Commodus.
Commodus. Let's go. Who fought in gladiatorial games and renamed after himself during his reign from 180 to 192 AD. Bonus 1 for Team B. In 188 AD, Leander appointed himself equal to the Praetorian prefects, and by 190 AD was replaced by what prefect who played a role in the assassination of Commodus 2 years later? I'm sorry, Ovidius Tacitus is not correct. This guy's name is Lycus. And bonus 2. What successor of Commodus was accompanied to the Praetorian camp by Leander and was proclaimed Essex, though he only ruled for 87 days?
Mother of narrator.
Pertinax is correct. Yes. So that's 15 points on plus of 20 to Team B. And at the end of the round,
Team A has 45,